Hey everybody, hope you're doing good today. So we are going to be in Genesis chapter 29 today, and we're going to be tiptoeing through the house of Jacob, Leah, and Rachel. And it is not a happy home. So we want to tiptoe through here so that we're not discovered. We find Rachel and Leah at odds with one another because Jacob loves Rachel more. And of course he does. He served for her 7 years, and then he was tricked by his uncle Laban. And then he served 7 more years, and he was able to marry Leah, Rachel, the one he loved to begin with. So when it says that Leah was hated, it's not that, well, she probably was hated and despised in an emotional sense, but it's just a covenant language. You know, she wasn't the one that he had contracted for. And so there was never anything there. There was never going to be anything there. But because of what happened, she became his wife. And so here Leah is. She didn't put herself in this position. She's hated by her husband because she's not the one he covenanted for, he contracted for. He never had any interest in her to begin with. Apparently, Leah's father didn't have any interest in advancing her needs. And so Rachel, she's the competitor. So there's a lot going on here. And the Lord looks at this and he does something. Now, I've entitled the video in the pastor's letter today, Is Justice Blind? Justice has to be blind because men are so moved by what they see and hear and think. Their prejudices overwhelm their senses. But God is not like that. He is not like us. And so when we see this passage and we see what God does, he has his eyes wide open and he can judge fairly, and he does. It says there in verse 29, is it 29? Verse 31. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. So the Lord sees. He sees what's going on. He sees what's happening to Leah, and he makes a change. He opens her womb and he closes the womb of Rachel. So that Leah, the one who's despised by her father, by her sister, by her husband, can have some justice in her own house. And so the Lord opens her womb. And she recognizes that it's the hand of the Lord. She even says there with Reuben's birth, the Lord has looked upon my affliction. That name Reuben means, the first part of that name means to look or to see. The Ben part is the son part. So the son of sight. God saw and gave her a son. So he's watching, and no matter how bad your situation is, no matter how dysfunctional your home is, no matter how dysfunctional things might be at work, no matter how bad any of that is, the Lord sees it all, and you can trust that he's going to make it right. And he makes it so right for Leah. Yeah, get this. She's despised by her husband, her father, her sister, but who's the one who's the mother of Judah? Leah is. Who is Judah the father of? He's the father of David. Who did David father? David fathers Messiah. Who's Messiah? The Lord Jesus. So when Leah looks now on her lineage from heaven, she sees all these boys leading all the way up to Messiah. What a blessing for a despised little girl that the Bible said was tender-eyed. That's all it tells us about Leah. She was just tender-eyed. She must have been tender-eyed. I bet she had a tender heart too. And it's because she knows who's doing this work. And I outline in the letter the names of the boys, the first 4 boys that she has, and how she attributes to God for 3 of those 4 births. It's marvelous. It's a great devotional reading. And I hope that you'll take this and jump ahead and look at the other boys that Leah has and the sons of her handmaids and just compare those names. And through all of that, we can see what's going on in the home. The way Rachel names her children through the handmaids, how Leah names her children. It's just, there is such a difference between the two. Anyhow, I hope this finds you good today. I hope this blesses you, this little devotional thought. And enjoy the letter, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. Bye.